Chris Flint's a Labour candidate for the constituency of Harlow. Just 4 days left, Chris. How's it been going?
Well, look, it's been really enjoyable, as you know. I do enjoy getting out campaigning and talking to residents, listening to residents, and it's been a wonderful opportunity, not just to campaign in Harlow, but campaign across the wider constituency. We were in Great Camfield yesterday talking to some farmers about some issues that they're facing, and of course we've been out in Hatfield Heath, Roydon, Shearing and Lower Shearing. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to get out to talk and listen to as many residents as possible and really understand their concerns and hopefully, explain why I think I'm the right choice to be Harlow's next MP, but also why we desperately need a Labour government.
We are a town, but of course the constituency is very green and lots of villages. So things like the farmers, what issues are concerned them?
Well, I mean, I think for them, that they're very interested in Labour's plans about, food security. So ensuring that actually half of the food that we eat is actually produced in this country. But clearly, with that target comes a number of issues. They were talking, for example, about the issues of soil erosion, the issues of pollution in the rivers, actually, which we know is a huge issue and something that we need to work together to solve. But I'm really excited, and actually, I came away from that meeting feeling very buoyant and very determined, actually, to work with them to actually solve these issues. And as an MP, I want to be helping all residents with their issues, and this was just one example of that.
You say as an MP, you've got a real hill to climb, haven't you? This is not 100 majority. It's almost recalibrated. It's almost 17,000 majority. That's a hell of a hill, Chris, isn't it?
Well, and we're absolutely realistic about that. And the Labour Party in Harlow are absolutely not complacent about that. We've got a lot of work to do, and we've hopefully been doing that work, and we will continue to do that work up until 9:59 on polling day. We absolutely need to be out there listening to residents and talking to residents as much as possible, because those one-to-one conversations with residents are really, really important. But what does strike me is how much people do want change. They are fed up with the Conservative government and the issues that they've faced over the last 14 years, particularly in recent years, and they're keen for change. So it's about me talking about why I can be a good MP for the town, but also how Labour's plan nationally can help them.
This is our final interview before the general election. So, do you want to, at this point, pay tribute to your team? Because I've seen, I'm
Yeah.
probably the only person who speaks all the candidates.
Yeah.
I've seen all the activists, all the people doing the hard yards, all across Harlow, all in the villages. You've got quite a team behind you, haven't you?
Well, I mean, I generally feel really humbled by the amount of people that have come out to support me, and it's particularly over this last weekend, we've had probably nearly 100 people come out to support us from Harlow, from surrounding constituencies, and from London as well. And it means a great deal to know that so many people want to see a Labour MP here in Harlow, recognise the need for a Labour MP here in Harlow, and the need for a Labour government. And as I said to you before, what's really struck me is the number of senior Labour politicians, including Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner, who've come down to show support. But particularly, I want to pay tribute. James was just off camera. People like Alan Jones, who's 87 years old and is still coming out canvassing every single day. The support, obviously, I've had from Bill Rammell, from Stefan, and all the other councillors as well, and Kay, and people like that. I really want to pay tribute to them, because it's felt like we're a team, and we want to make this town better.
You mentioned Labour. We had at the hustings a question from Frank Jackson, a 95-year-old traditional socialist. We're behind you is Solo Flight, dedicated to Sonia Anderson.
Mhm.
And I just read interviewing
Yeah.
a husband who died at the age of 102, Donald Anderson. How would you describe your politics? Are you Labour? Are you socialist? Are you Labour and cooperative? Are you all these things? Or are you simply a man who's going to back the people of Harlow?
Well, I mean, I think probably I describe my politics as democratic socialism, but I would say, I'm also a cooperator. You're right to say that I'm on as a Labour and cooperative MP, so I believe very much in cooperatives. Actually, Frank Jackson is someone that does as well, and how we can actually work to develop a business model that means that customers and the people using the service and the workers themselves have a greater say. So I would describe myself as probably as many of those things, but I think primarily I want to be a good MP for Harlow. And the thing that comes across most to me, Michael, when I talk to residents and listen to residents, is that issue of security. People want to feel safe. So my number one priority is to ensure that security for residents in Harlow, both in terms of getting police on the streets and in communities, but also ensuring people have decent access to NHS. So obviously not just doctors and GPs, but we need to tackle the issue of the hospital, ensure Harlow gets the new hospital that it needs. But yeah, I think I would say, first and foremost, I want to be a good MP for this town. And I recognise the work that Robert did in that mould, and Bill did as well. And although the politics may be different, I think this town and this community rightly needs and ask for, and it should ask for, because that's what it deserves, an MP that's going to work incredibly hard for them. And that's something that hopefully I've shown I've done over the last 6 years as a local councillor, certainly with my community work, obviously working for the Streets Homes and working for my current charity. I've done that, supporting residents in this town. That's what I want to do as an MP, and that's my primary goal.